transitioning in places that we've never been, and exploring throughout life. And I'm really, really humbled to be sharing a little piece that I wrote after I had traveled to New Zealand. And I had been experiencing what it's like to experiencing the impermanency of life and the changes that are constantly happening around us, and trying to grapple with that constantly shifting, transforming nature of life. So this is named Impermanencey, but I also want to give a little context that now I think that I would write a different piece, more about celebrating the diversity of our experiences when we do travel. All right. So, break me down like the cardboard box we used to pack up all my shit just to empty again. Whatever baggage once carried, now compressed, condensed, reduced, all aspects we tend to compartmentalize to return to. What morphs in the spaces between places of travel destinations where changes don't always present themselves as obvious. From inside origins they fold open. With synchronistic brainwaves and intricate interlinked existence influence these movements. How bodies shift their placement while mentalities tune in across borders, resisting and embracing the impermanency that pervades through these rich experiences and pulses in our restless, thirsty veins. An earthquake boomed through me well before landing. Christchurch experienced 2 consecutive years of rapid bellows that tore foundations apart, left buildings barely standing, tectonic plates ripped beneath feet, forcing new building of history. Is this society fully ready? There were still abandoned neighborhoods like ghost towns. Play toys still sat on lawns. A flower shop still displayed vases of bouquets, and silence rung through a record shop where lively music once played. Empty streets with emptier homes linked with cones, while sections of city blocked in red zone marked by danger. Emptiness, renewal, resurrection, and creation within one broken location. Avoidance. The fragmentation of city resembled the hesitation of hearts and bodies to remain stable. Bedrock foundation cannot hold our shaking, disrupted spirits, always wandering, half searching, half experiencing presently, with hearts building up wholly to fall to rubble. Temporary loves like mobile homes, roving, stopping, refueling, run by the promises that manifest at street corners, met by signs that lead to dead ends. This is not a through street. Follow the detours until they meet our expectations, only for real, short moments that flicker flame and extinguish, where everything pauses and nothing matters but the present. I keep hitting orange cones at red zone intersections, proceed to put flowers in their openings to commemorate the moments that felt so real and yet so consciously impermanent. When love has no limits, when moving isn't constant but wanted, when hesitation is not useful vocabulary in poetic sentences written on scrap paper poems to lovers, lost to the constantly shifting currents that envelop and entangle our being. To protect against falling unstable hurts upon such an open-giving spirit, construction continues overhead, I mean inside head. I am a tower of reinforcing steel frame constructed carefully to adapt, but built attached to a constantly shifting foundation. My suitcase remains packed because I will always be a nomad, driven by passion, changed by ambition, carried between blouses that don't want to fold, and jeans that lose their mold to these stems too stiffly constructed, unable to bend with my transformative soul development. This pack is drenched by the sweat, grime, and wear after every treacherous and accomplished climb to summits, where instability grounds inward to slow-moving mountains that open wide to horizons for hearts to sunrise. I spread myself thin among morning dew, watching crowds come to life, want to dissolve the color, formless against the pigments of pixelated sky. Ripped into deep cuts on hillside, I squint my eyes to focus on moving particles of light, beyond formation, dancing and drifting away. fascinated how they are distinctly shaped but made to change. Floating individual parts along for the ride until departure. Ready to drop and morph to become fluid, ride the currents until absorbed to new receiving bodies, until evaporated again. You see, this life is so impermanent, and we are always moving, like the ceiling of the most beautiful cathedral, so unattainable and yet built by the tangible hands of man. There are no right angles in nature. Gravity will pull me over and over again. Will you hear the echo as I fall? Revolution to rubble, cloud to erosion, love to confusion, impermanency so present among surreal, momentary movements. Thank you. So these photos here were from my travels in New Zealand. Very dear place in my heart. Thank you.